Here? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right. Sorry. Don't show this. Okay. So our panelists are, if you ladies, please introduce yourself. Pramila ji, in this order from, I'll start with Pramila ji first. Pramila ji, will you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, nice to meet you, everyone. Professionally, I am a senior product manager at a global multinational company. Almost over 25 years of experience. I have a master's in computer science and I have worked in IT for 98% of my career so far. Uh, uh, in different in a variety of roles. I was also in teaching for about 10, 12 years. And then I transitioned into corporate IT. So looking forward to connect. And I think in Mother's Day, for a mother, when they juggle careers, any kind of career, being a homemaker itself is a full-time job by itself. So I think, Shatabdi, what you are going to start in this Career Connect is, I think it's a very important part for any woman per se, and especially who is a mother.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I will next ask Prema Malini, if you can please introduce yourself.
Yes. Hello, I'm Dr. Prema Malani. I'm a retired obstetrician and gynecologist. I practiced in Chicago for 35 years. After delivering 4,000 babies and several surgeries, I decided to retire, and I'm retired for 8 years now. And I volunteer at 2 charitable clinics, and at one of the clinics run by Indian American Charitable Foundation, I started women's health clinic there, which we have every 2 weeks, and women can get free health care, pap smears, mammograms, and medications for free. So now I'm a happily retired person enjoying my life.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. I'm glad to have you here. Next, I will request Sharmishta Farida, if you can please introduce yourself.
Sure, thanks, Shatabdi. So, hello everyone. My name is Sharmishta, but in America I got rechristened into Sharmi because my full Sanskrit name was pretty challenging to pronounce. I work, as I say, at the intersection of technology and strategy. Basically, I translate business chaos into digital clarity. Been working for the last 25 years for global Fortune 500 companies, and I'm thrilled to be here today. I've been a part of Sanjeevani on and off for the last 8, 9 years, and I'm always in awe of women like yourselves who are able to do so much for empowerment. I promise to keep my insight sharp and my mic unmuted most of the time. Thank you.
Yeah, glad to have you here, Sharmi. Next, I will request Dr. Lalita Darva, if you can please introduce yourself.
Thank you, Shatabdi. I'm Lalita Darba, and I'm a board-certified internist. What else to say? I've been associated with Sanjeevani for almost, I think, 6 to 7 years now. When Pramilaji first met me, I think 7, 8 years ago. And it's been a journey, all good. And, I'm so excited to be part of this panel today.
Thank you. We're glad to have you here. Next, request Abha Rai, if you can please, Abha, introduce yourself.
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Abha Rai, and I'm a professor here at a university in Chicago, and I'm also on the board of Sanjeevani. My puppy is in the
Yeah, we can see your puppy. Yeah, very cute.
Yes, thank you. And most of my teaching is around, I teach social work practice classes. I'm a social worker. And a lot of my research is, around domestic violence and mental health. So really excited to be here today with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Glad to have you here. And Veena, will you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, thank you,
Thank you.
Shatabdi. Likewise, I'm very happy to be here. I am Veena Jagannath. I've been a resident of Chicago for 25 years and have been working in Chicago for about 20 years now in the field of global finance, which is really exciting, but also can be very demanding on an individual with 18-hour work days. But I've learned a lot. I hold an MBA from the University of Chicago and also a CFA charter. And I've been in the finance field for a long time. I've been associated with Sanjeevani for about 5 years now, initially as an associate board member and now as a board member. Really happy to connect with you all.
Yeah,
Thank you.
same, likewise, same. And I would like to introduce myself. So my name is Shatabdi Chaudhary. I am a volunteer of Sanjeevani, and as my full-time job, I used to work for IBM for almost 20 years. It was my first job and long time job. And then while working in IBM, I finished my master's in data science from Northwestern. And so I've been a data scientist last 5 years. I work for United Healthcare. And the Sanjeevani is my, passion. Like I'm really, I think there is still a void that we want to hear what kind of work Sanjeevani does, give back to the society and the Chicagoland area. I think that was really needed, and I really feel like I should be there. And other than that, I'm really interested in walking, running, and I'm really glad to be here talking to you. And I think the whole life we just try learning how to balance. I don't know what to do this or that, and I'm so really looking forward to hear from all of you. And actually, before we begin, I can see some of our good friends, Bashanti is there, and I don't know that other people who joined. If you can, please go ahead, please introduce yourself. But if you're not comfortable, it's fine. Bashanti?
Yeah, sure. Hi.
Hi.
I just, switched on the camera. So my name is Vasanti Goswami. I'm a resident of Chicago for almost 25 years, 26 years as, Veena. I'm working, my work experience is like last 10 years. As you know, Shatabdi, because of the twins, I couldn't work. So I feel like I'm kind of left out from the workforce, but then I got back into it, but still like, I'm not, I'm working as a business analyst for a food testing company. And other than that, my boys they are left home. So we are empty nesters. I'm right now in a stage like, um, not don't know what to do with my, kind of a time I have, and trying to see how I can help out, socially. And I got inspired with some of the women in this panel, Sanjeevani, Pramalaji, Shatabdi, you as well. So yeah, I'm here to learn, from you all.
Thank you. Glad to have you here.
Thank you.
We have two more people. If you would like to introduce yourself, please go ahead. We're going to just give a pause for you. No? Okay. So we will start just few questions. Okay. So we are really glad to have you here. And we like to get your insight and guidance for all the work you do, and just let us know how you do this, how you manage to do this. So we have just few questions, and for the discussions, I'm going to ask like from I'll tell you. I start from Pramilaji. And so you can stop any moment, and anybody can ask questions. Like if they have something to add, please go ahead. It is like a conversation between us, and it's just few of us and just two more guests. So just feel free to say any insight, anything, any opinions you have. Okay. So the first question is about your immigrant journey. So we are all immigrant, right? So we all came from India, South Asia, and settled here for a long time, and most of our life is actually here, right? So this is the immigrant journey. So, how has being a South Asian immigrant shaped your path as a working mother? And this is to tribute to Mother's Day, which is tomorrow. So, if we can please start with Pramila ji.
Yeah, as we said, we're all immigrant. I initially came here to join my husband, who was here on a 1 year work with a company. So, and then it extended. And when I tried to look for jobs, I had about more than a decade experience in India. But I found out that, any experience you have out of the country does not make much value. And at that point, I made a decision to pursue a degree from here. I think that helped me a lot. And I think that was also a stepping stone for me to, start my career here in computer science. So that was, I think, not only just myself, any immigrant from any country goes through the same. And I found that the value of pursuing a degree here was, a very, very beneficial. There's different ways of working. And it also helped me establish the work culture here.
Yeah.
So I think it prepared me well. And, as mother, it was very challenging. Work from home has started here a few years back. When
Right.
I used to work, getting 2 hours off or leaving home early used to be a humongous task. And the guilt of not being with kids, when needed, it hurt me a lot. When I was there to say, how can I go back? How can I? There's no work from home, but everything has worked out. We moms are good jugglers. We don't have 2 hands, we have 10 hands, and 5 eyes, all back and behind. So we've survived, is what I can say.
Yeah, thank you so much, Pramila ji. Dr. Prema Malini, will you please tell us like how your immigrant journey has been and how it shaped your path uh, becoming a working mother?
We came here 50 years ago. I was fully trained obstetrician gynecologist from India, board certified. I was a teacher at good government institute. When I came here, I had to do it all over again. They did not recognize my potential. I knew much more than all training residents, even few of the attendings. And when I tried to show something to them, they kind of say, oh, I'm very little person. This tall, huge men, and there were very few women at that time. So I was kind of put down for being small, dark, not good looks, or whatever in their opinion, and trying to show off my skills to senior people. And I wasn't really trying to show off. I was just showing them what I knew. I was not showing off, just showing. So they did not recognize my potential, did not make me rise in the ranks. I could have finished my training in 1 year, which I had to do for 4 years. Finally, they recognized my potential, and then as soon as I finished my training, they made me in charge, medical director of medical education, teaching residents, teaching them surgery, like looking all over their training program. That's how I started. Then, should I tell you about the struggles that we had at home?
Yeah,
Tell you
we want to hear
later.
that.
So I used to come home 72 hours working stress, lack of sleep, stress from work, come home. I had 2 children by then. So take care of their homework, listen to them, teach them the importance of hard work, respect, empathy, and all these things. My husband is very, very supportive. So he was half the mom to them. I was part-time mom. He was almost full-time mom. Used to come home, celebrate all our festivals at home, tell them the stories of the festivals and what morals to learn from them. Whenever we used to go for parties, I used to sit in the back seat of the car and read them stories, Mahabharata, Ramayana, teach them how to read and write Hindi and all those things. And that's how I spent my working hours. Always stressed out, didn't give importance to myself. And I will tell everybody, you should come first. If you are strong, you can take care of the others later.
Yeah.
So that's how was my life during training.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. That's really inspiring. 72 hours like at a straight. That
Yeah,
is, oh
without
my
sleep.
goodness.
Yes, to be on, to go to work morning today at 6 a.m., come back next day 6 p.m.
Yeah, yeah.
Was
Thank you.
very, 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 very hard.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing that. Next, I'm going to ask the same question to Sarmi, Sharmishta. So, how has being a South Asian immigrant shaped your path as a working mother?
Sure, thanks, Shatabdi. So I came here actually as a very poor student. Used to survive on $30 a month, believe it or not. Yes, and I lived on ramen noodles and used to work all the way. Anyways, I did get a job, and but my boyfriend in India gave me an ultimatum that if you get married there and work there, you can forget about us. So I quit the job offer and ran back to India to get married. So you can figure out that I wasn't very career minded. But no, I had worked in India with HP for about 4 or 5 years in Bangalore, and India was just opening up in the late 90s then. So we thought as youngsters the world was our oyster. But as luck would have it, I had a very good job in Bangalore. Both of us were working in multinationals and living the good life. And then I came back again because that company which had made me an offer refused to let me go and said, "You can change your mind later, but we'll file your H1." So there I was back. But this time when I got back, like Pramila ji mentioned, I quickly realized that whatever you have in India is not going to take you very far here. So while I was 5 months pregnant, I basically took the GMAT exam and went back to school and did my MBA. And while nursing a child, so used to take the drive down. My husband was also doing his MBA. I don't know what happened. I think we were competing with each other. He went to Chicago, both, and I
Friendly
went
competition, right? Friendly
yeah, so we
competition.
used to take classes like I was also working part time, nursing my child, coming back home to feed her at 11:30 in the night because I was taking evening classes. So yeah, long story short, a lot of grit and determination because one thing that my parents taught me, both my parents are working parents back in India, is that you need to be independent. We have given you an education. Don't ever depend on anybody for anything, no matter what. So even though ours was a love marriage and my husband is a wonderful human being, I always take everything from a place of gratitude as opposed to a place of objection or complaint. So I think I'm very happy for what I have in my life. And my daughter grew up with special needs, so it was also very challenging being in an IT job where you had to work across different time zones. But one thing I learned, so my husband used to travel, I used to travel, and I think my daughter grew up somewhere in the middle of all of this. And she realized she had two very focused parents. And so now I see that she is an embodiment of all those things we both had exposed her to. So I didn't have to teach her scheduling and organizational. I mean, she's doing pretty good by herself, being very independent at 17, 18, and living in a college. She attends Loyola as a pre-med student now. So I think the immigrant journey coming from where we are, I grew up in Delhi, a city of a very secular city with a lot of complexities. I think it prepared me well for my, for me to acclimatize myself here to this country, and also with my family, and then discover friends and extended families like yourselves, where I really want to spend this part of my life in giving back and hoping that everything that I have learned, if I can impact even one woman's life in a positive way, I will feel that my time on earth is justified.
Oh,
That's
that's really really inspiring. You're already a role model to your
thank you.
daughter, and you're a role model to so many women. Yes, yes, I totally agree. The gratitude part, what you said, about family and self-care, what Dr. Premaji said, and all of you, inspiring, very inspiring stories, very inspiring life experience. Thank you so much, Sarmi, for sharing. Next, I'll go to who did I ask? Was it Dr. Ava? Okay, yeah, yeah. Please go ahead. You know the question, or should I read it?
I know the question. I
Okay,
think
okay, okay. Yeah,
I'll follow
please
the
go.
same theme, but thank you. I guess my story is no different from the others here. I moved here from India a few years ago. I moved here for school initially to get my PhD. So I think that, the fact that you move from another country to here is also, it shows how brave you are.
Mhm.
And, I think adjusting and moving, all of this takes time. I think, I want to go back to what some of our other panelists said. Our South Asian culture has taught us to be so brave, so resilient. And I think that helps here, be it to get an education and make sure your degree counts, or, make sure you're showing your skills and getting a promotion or your accent or whatever. So I think that, that journey, like the fact that I'm from South Asia and I've been able to like make a mark and be successful in some ways, I think that journey has been helpful. Of course, that doesn't mean that we've not had struggles just like the others. Everyone has struggles. We've seen I feel like parents sacrifice, and we've all grown up, not everybody, but I've also seen, South Asian families generally, the gender role stereotypes are there, the patriarchy is,
Yeah.
there's no sort of going away or sort of hiding from that. And I think that's, continues here also. So when you move here, it
Mhm.
doesn't matter if you like have a job, you're a successful doctor, you're the CEO of a company, whatever. I think in the end, I mean, I've seen that in my house, and I say this with all the love. I think I have a very supportive family. I'm really blessed, and I think most of us, feel blessed and lucky here. But like I come back after all the work and I have to cook. I have to clean that, whatever I do, however fancy I am outside, that work is mine and will always be mine. I don't know how to shift it, change it. We've tried, we've had conversations, but it's somehow always assigned to me. And, in terms of motherhood, I'm not a traditional mom in the sense I have a fur baby. So I'm type of a mother, different. And, with all due respect to everybody, I do think even with that, we've had endless conversations, all of the taking to the doctor's appointments, the food ordering, feeding, all of that somehow falls on like one gender compared to the other. Of course,
Yeah.
there's help and support, but who's responsible is, somehow always like Pramila was saying, we have like 10 hands and, 20 eyes here. And
Right, right,
I believe
Pramalaji.
it because I'm like, there's one task happening. Meanwhile, there's like 5 other crises that has happened already. So yeah, so I think while the journey has been hard and there's lots of ups and downs, but I do think that, the South Asian culture has just given us so much resilience and like
That's
waking
right.
up every day and kind of showing up. So
Mhm.
yeah, so that's been my journey, and that's why I'm excited to be on this panel too, to sort of hear more. So thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. It really, what you said at the end, it is really, really right. It just gives us the resilience, like how to show up. Even with all those, work, all the multitasking we have to do, we're going to show up, and then, things will follow. Things will follow. Result will follow. Yeah, thank you for sharing that, Ava. Next, I'm going to ask Dr. Lalita the same question. If you are on
Yeah.
mute, okay, yeah, we
Thank
can
you.
hear
Yeah,
you.
thank you, Shatabdi. I really feel honored and privileged to be a part of this esteemed group. It's as Abha just said, it's really, we are blessed and lucky. There are so many of us out there. We are wearing different hats, but we keep going. And the the response I had prepared was, it made me resilient, tolerant, and innovative. So
That's
I've been
great.
here in Chicago for like 22 years now. And I was working before I immigrated to United States. I was working for World Health Organization. And, I, as a part of that job that I left before immigrating here, I needed to travel almost like 20 to 25 days a month. And as a woman, that itself was very challenging.
Yeah.
And at times, we were posted in remote areas of Uttar Pradesh or, you know, Delhi, you know, something like that. So it was, I was, you know, going into a career mode. And then when I came here, just like most of us echoed, you know, like we are echo chambers, I feel. So then I had to do the MLEs, you know, they call the US MLEs, and then get into residency. I became a mother. So it's been a journey. And as I said, there have been numerous times, you know, I felt, why me? And that was mostly not because of anything to do with family for me. For me, the struggle was because I was a physician and because I was working in public health at the, you know, for a World Health Organization, somehow, you know, again, I don't want to brag, but people reach out to me. Like when they see me, they feel that I will be their solution. You know, like all these corporate women who are retiring, or, you know, these men who are going through their midlife crisis, they'll cry looking at me, and, you know, and I'm like, okay. So it's my experience here in the Chicago area has been such. Initially, when they reached out, I used to be very defensive, you know, because I was still young. I was in my
Yeah.
30s, and I'm like, I want a life for myself too, you know. I'm not here to solve the humanity's problems. But
Right.
then, you know, because my family was so supportive, and, you know, I've been very blessed to have a family, you know, which is, even before my wedding, my parents were very supporting, my siblings were very supportive of my work. And after my wedding, you know, my extended family and my husband, they are very supportive. So it's been a journey of love for me, and I really feel blessed.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing that. Now we are going to move on to uh, Veena. Yeah.
So I think I'll keep it very brief. I think my experience echoes, has echoes of what each and every panelist before me has already mentioned in terms of, you know, this experience demonstrates resilience in itself, the ability to move across continents. In fact, I actually moved here with my husband from Oman, which is closer to India. It's like 4 hour plane ride from India. From there, we came here specifically to study. So my husband came here as a student in 2000, and he had an internship, and then I was studying from home because we took our entire savings and invested it in his education, and we kind of were managing the dollars when we came here. And I was just studying for my CFA exam by myself. I used to just go to his library, sit down and study. But 2001 was a very landmark year because that's when 9/11 occurred. And my husband had a job offer at the time from Singapore, which we were extremely thrilled about. But 9/11 occurred and he lost that offer. That's very common in B school. They rescind offers when the economy just tanks. So he
Yeah.
lost his offer, and he had not graduated, but I was pregnant with my child at the time. So we had dwindling amounts of money, no job, not a clue in terms of what we were going to do. And the environment here was very hostile at the time. I will just admit it, because international students became the focal point of the 9/11 investigation. I distinctly remember one experience. The first time that we traveled by air with my 1-year-old child, I was asked at the at the safety check, does your child walk? And I said very proudly, he's only 1 year old and he can walk. Then they said, let him down. Each of you walk by yourself. You can't carry your child. They didn't do that to anyone else. But, that was 2002. And, that was a very different world. I could not drive until 2005 because they said all the F2, they were not going to issue any licenses. And so we felt really like so much under stress with a young child, no saving, everything gone. And so then I enrolled for school in 2002 when my child was 1 year old. sorry, 2003, when my child was 2 years old. It was, I will echo the guilt. All through my career, I have carried with me the guilt of not spending enough time with my children. Physicians, they have 72 hours at one go. For me, it is more like 18-hour days, which, you come back home, then you get to work, and then you're like always competing for, you're just always struggling for time. But in spite of that, I think the resilience that we came with, I noticed that this country, it benefits from it. Like if you ask, if you just read through news articles, they will tell you that South Asian families enjoy stability. They bring value to the economy and to this country through their education and their skills, and they don't complain very much whatever is thrown at them. We are first generation, we came here, we built everything here brick by brick by brick, like most of us. And that is something that I feel very proud about. And that's been my experience.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that, Veena. So we actually have prepared like 5 questions, but with the interest of time, I am going to skip the middle question. I'm going to directly go to the last question because the first question is like that, just half time, right? And I don't want to keep you long because I know you all have possibly Mother's Day planned tomorrow. So I'm going to go to the last question. And I'm just going to combine the last 2 questions together. So what lessons on strength and balance and leadership you want to share with the younger South Asian women? Okay, and with that, if you can also share some of your self-care habits. How do you take care of yourself? Because you do so much. You take care of you have a job. You take care of your family. So what kind of self-care do you do? So I'm going to repeat one more time. It is guidance for the next generation and possibly also for Sanjeevani clients. What lessons on strength, balance, and leadership you want to share with the younger South Asian woman, and what kind of self-care tips you have? I will start with Pramilaji. You.
So I'll just begin with, I think Dr. Prema mentioned that it's very important to say you're a first two.
Yeah, she did.
Us is first two. So it's very important as we take care of family or kids or work, we have to also accept that I'm priority number 1 to what else do I need to do. It could be, joining sessions like these, cultivating different kind of hobbies, meditating. If nothing else, just take a walk outside, spend 30 minutes for yourself. It's very, very important. One of the things what I've noticed is, we being having a mindset of living in a different country outside of USA, the culture has been different. Uh, when I came in here, when you are migrating, you cannot afford to take a lot of risks. But the generation today is very open. They will speak their mind and they're open to risk, which is good thing. They are challenging themselves to take up a career which they like. They're open to change, they're open to making changes, and they're also open to making mistakes.
Yeah.
Which I find that at least 20 years ago was not available, not possible, or not even thought of.
Yes, I
So,
agree.
yeah, so definitely the women of today are more forthright, independent, and they take care of each other and take care of themselves, which is very important. That's what I think is a lesson, not a lesson. And the other thing I would like to also let the younger people know, as you grow in your career, remember your personal life is an equal part of your journey. Your work is not everything. So you have to keep it very separate and keep different paths. One should not interfere with the others.
Yeah.
To Shatabdi.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Pramilaji. Next, I'll ask the same question to Dr. Prema Malani.
I will take 2 more minutes than others because I'm the oldest and I probably have too much advice to give.
Yeah, and we are looking forward to hear that.
Okay. So again, on my front entrance in my bed, you come first, as Pramilaji said. First thing you have to do is take care of yourself. We Asian women are very resilient, but we push ourselves, stress ourselves out so much. Don't push yourself to that level. Just stay short of that and ask for your help. Ask for the help to your spouse. Tell your children to do dishes. We don't tell children to do any work. Tell them to do the dishes. Ask friends to help you out. Be aunties to each other's children, like our
Yeah.
friend. And
Yeah.
we are, I know we are like Ashtabhuja Durga Devis with several hands and things, but just stay a little short of being exhausted.
Yeah.
Take care of yourself first.
Mhm.
Set your priorities. But
Mm.
even after you set your priorities, take time for yourself to prepare for those priorities. I just wrote down a few points. And the most important thing is legacy is not about fame or fortune that you have achieved. It is about how you make other people feel, the love you give to them, the way you
Mhm.
talk to them, and
Yeah.
make the difference in their lives. So don't think about, kind of material wealth. Think about what legacy you're going to leave behind. You don't have to do those things to leave the legacy. It automatically will grow.
Oh my
Once
God,
you
that is so true. You said it so right, so nicely. Yeah. Mhm.
So I have few points that I would like everybody to know. Again, you come first. If you are strong, you'll be stronger to take care of others. If you are mentally or physically strong, I wake up every morning, have my tea, and work out for 1.5 hours. I don't care my dishes are dirty, my table is not set, because if you do not work out at that time, you'll always find excuse throughout the day. So being a physician, again, I think you all young people must exercise every day if you want better older age. Embrace failures. Don't feel that as your defeat. Take this as a feedback and work at it. Develop resilience through discipline. Discipline yourself. Practice gratitude. That's the most important thing. Even if your child does a little thing for you, say thank you. We don't, and not only that, we don't praise or appreciate our children.
Yeah.
Praise them. You are so good. You did so many things. It is not even our culture to praise ourselves or our children. Do that. It's very important. This is what I learned from American culture is they say thank you for everybody. Meal could be lousy, but they say thank you for good food. We never say that. And that
Yeah.
just makes other people feel good and taking care of yourself first. These are the two things. Stay curious, grounded, but keep growing. And the last two words are lead with purpose, but live with balance. That's my
My God, that is
cents
really
worth,
good.
2 cents worth to all my fellows. I know Pramilaji for a long time. She helped us in our charitable clinic to take care of mental health of our patients. So Pramila I have known for a long time. We'll still keep in touch now.
We are in touch, yes, Dr.
Yeah.
Malini.
So
Yeah,
because we started Women's Health Clinic, so we might ask for your help.
anytime, ma'am.
Thank you, everyone.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Prema. Those are really heartfelt, and those are really great tips you have. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. I'm going to move to Sharmi, if you can please share.
So, quick confession, I've been reading the Bhagavad Gita every day, so I'm going to show off a little bit. There is a beautiful verse, and I hope I pronounce it correctly. Pardon my Sanskrit. It says, Yogastha Kuru Kurmani Sangham Tyaktva Dhananjaya. And I'm sure all of you know the meaning of this, which is Krishna telling Arjuna that perform your duties and leave your attachments aside, to put it very succinctly. And I started reading the Bhagavad Gita probably the 10th time in my life 4 years ago, because now I have a different perspective, a different lens. What I have learned in my 10 years of being a leader is that strength isn't about uh, talking about yourself. It's really being consistent. Strength can actually be very silent, and it has to be with purpose. I always tell my teams, I am not a know it all person. Teach me, impress me. And it feels very nice to come from a place of humility as opposed to coming from a place of judgment. Because most of us Indians, South Asians, for some reason, and I have seen this unanimously, it's a good thing and it's also not a good thing sometimes. We tend to have this within our DNA that because I am an immigrant and I've done so well here, I know it better than you. But that's not true. We have to, like Dr. Prema mentioned, we have to have that sense of gratitude and humility in what we do. So knowing what matters is important, not knowing it all. I always say you can't, when I volunteer at Sanjeevani and I am talking to women, I say, you can't pour from an empty cup. You can't lead from an empty battery. You have to have balance in your life and set boundaries. I think one of the things I learned here is about creating boundaries, and something my daughter, their generation, taught me is about creating boundaries. Otherwise, we Indian parents, we feel like we can say anything we want to our children, right? And that's not right.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah.
And I think also as women, maybe we are basically, I think we are definitely more emotional than men. And some of us are very afraid to show our vulnerabilities, but I feel vulnerable. I have always had this discussion with my male counterparts where they say, "Oh, you cry very easily, you're very emotional." And I feel there's nothing wrong about it. I'm honest, I'm very authentic. If there is something happening in a boardroom conversation and it brings tears to my eyes, so be it. That's okay. I am vulnerable and that's how I am, and I admit mistakes and I ask for help when needed. And I'm thankful that I have a team of people around me. Even though we may be geographically dispersed, that I can reach out to and say, hey, I don't understand this, but you've been there and you've done this before. So can you help me understand? So I'm always learning. And now I'm also a certified yoga instructor. It's not for the money, but it's about challenging yourself, and learning new things. So yeah, I think every tiny triumph that we have in our life, it's like a foundational brick in our human evolution, and we need to celebrate it. We need to be proud of who we are. We need to stop blaming other people for what goes on in our lives. We have to take accountability and responsibility and try to become a better version of ourselves every day. That's just my mantra.
Yeah. 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 Very, very well said, Sarmi. Very well said. Thank you so much for sharing that better version of ourselves. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Next, I will ask the same question to Abha. Um, it's what lessons, what it's a guidance for the next generation and self-care.
Yeah, well, thank you. I think I agree with, Pramila and Sharmi and Premaji said some really amazing things. So yes, I 1000% believe that we need to prioritize self-care. I've been doing that recently. I mean, I'm not great at it, so I'm still learning. And, I thought about it the other day. I thought about why, for some of my, colleagues and friends that are not South Asian, self-care comes so easily, boundaries come so easily, but why doesn't it come as easily to me? There's sometimes there's some type of guilt attached. Oh, if I'm just sitting and watching TV, maybe I can clean the house, or maybe I can cook something else, or maybe like be more productive, like work for next day, or be an overachiever at work, at home, I don't know. So I thought about that a lot. And I think, we've grown up, many of us have grown up. I grew up seeing my mom do everything. I don't know if she knew the meaning of self-care, or I never saw her like getting her nails done or going out with her friends. Some of the things that I'm doing now, I'm like, I was thinking the other day, I'm like, I don't even know who her friends were. I mean, of course, we met people in social settings, but not like the things that we do now, right? So,
Yeah.
and I also, saw my mother-in-law got married really young. I always see her, eating at the end or serving everybody or just like sprinting across doing things. So I feel like that's so ingrained. And, only recently I've stopped, doing the same things because you sort of mirror what you learn growing up. So I used to also find myself doing very similar things. But I think now, with some non-Indian friends, I've really understood the value of self-care and how important it is to also be like mentally healthy and sound ourselves to be able to help other people. So I will say, please definitely like prioritize yourself. I mean, you're your strongest advocate. No one else can advocate for you if you don't advocate for yourself. So that's sort of the biggest piece of advice. It could be anything, meditation, going out, really running, walking, whatever makes you happy, whatever is your self-care, or reading the Bhagavad Gita, if that's, something. I've also started reading the Bhagavad Gita very recently. But I think, do something that makes you mentally able to do everything else. And then, the last thing I will say is, just around thinking about gender role expectations and sort of balancing that out at home, similar to what Premaji was saying. It's really okay to ask people in your house for help. Most times, people do agree. I know in my house, if I ask my husband for something, it doesn't happen the way I want it to always, but it happens. I mean, one way or the other, maybe I have to repeat it, but it does happen magically. So I think we need to like start letting go and kind of like trust other people and be like, if it doesn't happen right now, it will eventually happen. So I think show some compassion to yourself too, because you're the only person who can care for yourself. So that's my message. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that, Ava. Next, I'm going to ask the same question to Dr. Lalita.
So yeah, my 2 cents is, be bold, courageous, dream big, in your young years. And then as you age, develop, keeping that kindness in you, helping others. And some of which, Abba said it beautifully, self-care, she just nailed it about self-care. Reach out. When you are seeing within yourself, that I might be getting burnt out, don't go till the burnt out phase.
Yeah.
See those early alarm signs, the signals. If something doesn't seem right to you in your surrounding, um, analyze it within a week, within a day, ideally within a week or month. Where is it that I felt awkward? What was that moment that made me go out of my comfort zone? Where was it, at a grocery store or was it at home? Because we all operate with an intellectual mind, and the mind has this beautiful ability to map, people, places. As we age, this becomes more relevant. And uh, definitely Sharmi and Abha have said things a little different from Dr. Malani, because, times change, you know. So we have the wisdom of Dr. Malani, but at the same time, our times are different. Our struggle is a little different from those um, before us, and it's going to be a different from what it's going to be for future generations who are seeing the world after us.
Correct.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. And I just wanted to say I am a part of this group today because I am standing on the shoulders of giants like Promila and Dr. Malani. So it's really been an honor. Promila has really, really, really been there always, for whatever situation I've reached out to her, because she and Dr. Malani, because we work so closely, they know, like, when I reach out, they just like go overboard and help me. And I'm really, really grateful and thankful for them, and more power to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that. Next, I'll go to ask the same question to Veena. So what guidance you have for the next generation, and what tips you have for self-care or your like daily habits?
Yeah, thank you. So again, with self-care and the guidance for the next generation, I think know where to draw the line. I mean, I think it's been mentioned in different ways. Decide what your priorities are. Know where to draw the line. Ask for help, not just at home, but even at work. If you feel overburdened there, it's kind of a very slippery slope to bring all of it home and then download it in your family. I think the control mechanism should operate in both spaces, in both in your career as well as here. And if your career does not allow you the flexibility to do that because of the nature of the beast, then assess your priorities and figure out what is the right balance and the right mix that will work for you. Self-care is extremely important everywhere, but very, very important for people like us here. I'll speak for myself. As I said, I'm first generation. And unlike many others, what I notice is many members of my family haven't made the trek. Actually, I have nobody from my family here. My husband's family is here, but his parents are a little old. They need to be supported. But what I'd say is, in India, you have that family net, safety net, which most of us take for granted. For me, it has been that, like, I don't have an immediate safety net, but also from India, the support is rather limited in its scope. Like, there's only so much that people can tell you or talk to you about. And then a few years ago, 3 years ago, I also lost my mom, and that has been it was a defining experience for me because you look to your mom as an example. She was the first graduate in my family, the first one to work. She worked in a bank also, like me. But the moment I came into her life, she quit her job. So you see the different worlds where I'm continuously fighting new challenges, learning new things, and still managing a family. She had to quit her job. And I think, Abba, you mentioned it, that, a mom's generation is very different from here. So I think I would say knowing where to draw the line is very important. Find balance both in work and in your family. And then self-care is whatever works for you. It can be, but one very important thing, especially in a westernized society like here, is try to find at least one or two different friends or human beings to be around you at all times, to have a conversation. They can be either in your same city or they can be long distance friends. But I think the society, westernized society, is tends to be capitalistic, but also isolation and individualism is actually somewhat of a negative. And I think our prior Surgeon General has also called it out as as a disease in and of itself. So that's why I like interacting with others. And that's actually how I reached out to Sanjeevani 5 years ago, saying, I want to be part of like a group. I want to do group things. I want to be I want to be able to have conversations with people. And that's a very important part of our identity. And I think it shapes us. It helps maintain our resilience, if not build it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that, Veena. We are almost approaching the time, and I'd like to thank all of you for sharing all the insights and guidance you had for the group. And if anyone has any question, Vasanti or anybody, please go ahead and ask.
Wait,
Some
can I ask a
What
quick
is
question?
new people? Who are these new people?
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Not a question, just couple things to tell. One is, women are your best friends. So have some couple good women friends, as somebody has already mentioned.
Yeah.
Second thing, I want you, all of you, to take good care of your gynae health. If you are not going to your gynecologist, do it once a year. Pap smear, mammogram, very important. And third, not last but not the least, we have this women's health clinic on 2645 West Peterson. We take care of all women who are uninsured.
Oh
We
yeah,
give
I
them
won't be attending that.
free medical care and free medicines also. So please spread this word.
That is
We'll
really
be
amazing.
glad to take care of them.
That is very nice of you. Very
Wow,
sweet.
that is wonderful.
This is the new conference starting.
No, thank you so much. We think some people joined. Yeah. Okay, thank you all for
Thank you very much.
sharing
Thank you for
insights and
including
Wait a
us.
minute. Wait, sorry,
wishing
can I
wishing you all
No
happy
questions
Mother's Day.
right now. You can
Yeah.
put it in the chat if you want it.
Yes.
Oh,
Thank you.
fuck you, mom, fuck you. Ah.
Whoa, we have haircut. We have a haircut in here.
But how do we? Okay, thank you. Happy Mother's Day to you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Happy Mother's Day to everyone.